An occupational therapist is a healthcare practitioner that has the sole purpose of helping a person get back to doing what has meaning to them, what they want to do in their lives, usually after an injury or an illness, but also we play a role in prevention too. So it's making that connection between what a person wants and needs to do and what skills they have.
If someone came to me and there had been some change in their life, in their level of function, in their ability to participate in their routine activities of daily living, where I would begin would be by attempting to determine their current level of function.
As an occupational therapist, one of the things that we define is what a person's occupation is. And what we mean by that is, what do they do in their day-to-day lives kind of that occupies their time? Whether it's getting in and out of the tub, filling the bird feeders, opening the mail, paying bills, whatever it is that they need to do to manage their home or they want to do for their hobby or pastime. And this to me combines the art and the science of our profession.
We're all dealing with life changes and transitions, and the transitions can be very subtle or they can be very direct and overt. And having to cope with them can be a challenge if we have to concurrently deal with the environment itself. If the environment doesn't lend itself to those transitions, it's going to be that much more difficult.
As an occupational therapist, we're part of the team. We don't do the architecture, we don't do the building, but we have a hand in describing the disability of a person, a hand in helping the architect to understand what needs to be planned for, and a hand in helping the builder understand why we want these wide doors and why we want the house built the way it is. So we're not going to do the architecture, but we'd like to be part of the team.
An occupational therapist really can provide the advice from a well-rounded aspect. In some ways, we're kind of a go-between or liaison between the builders and the clients. The client that we work with may have several issues that they want addressed. The builder wants to provide those services. Our role is to make sure that what the client is wanting and what the builder is wanting is actually going to work.
When we think of the entire person, we think holistically. These are activities of daily living or activities of weekly living that people have to do to survive. And they've either got to do them in a slightly modified way or a majorly modified way. And there's all different ways to accommodate or to skin the cat.
We take what the person is maybe having challenges with or concerns about in their home, and as a healthcare practitioner, we have some of the background information about what may be going on medically or physically or emotionally with them, and then help connect that to their structural environment. There's a fit that really needs to happen. It's not just looking at the person, it's looking at how to change their environment to meet the needs of that person. And that's sometimes where the art comes into it as well, and making sure that they get what they need.
Occupational therapists have all these years been working with people who don't live in universally designed homes and help them with adaptive devices, training to be able to use those things to the best they can with their particular limitation.
We are cognizant of their economic status and their financial abilities when we make recommendations as occupational therapists. We have to take that into account. We take into account their social sphere and the types of support systems that they may have, either formal or informal support systems.
Well, we're also trained in just sort of the typical aging process that we all go through and that we all experience. Whether it's that thing where you start with the menu here, and then you slowly move it out to here, or the way you need different light as we get older, just normal things. We also have an understanding of how that process works, and again, how to do simple, nice changes to your home and inexpensive changes to kind of compensate a little bit, so maybe you don't even notice those changes.